Hey.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Here we go.
Oh
Deep
boy,
breath.
here we go again.
Mugs up.
Can sponsored by Diet Coke.
No, it's fucking not.
I wish.
There are many wishes we'd have, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So, Wade already watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry.
And you should. No, you're fine.
I've just come out of Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, you just now saw it. Oh, okay.
As I say, we're going to talk about.
I thought you had seen it like over the weekend or something. Oh boy.
Oh no, I came out of it like an hour ago.
So
Let me just explain the ending for a second of just like the audience reaction.
Hey, hold on. Before anything.
Spoiler stamp this bitch.
Okay, go.
Okay. So yeah, spoilers. The reaction. So the ending is happening in front of us. We're all just like, whoa. Screen goes to black. To be continued simultaneously from most of us. Oh, fuck off.
Well, we already knew that.
We already knew, but we didn't expect the cliffhanger bit.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't obviously really know exactly how it was going to do it, but I expected it to do something like that because not only do we already know there's a sequel coming, it had been confirmed, and I believe it's already in post-production. It's set to come out.
Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, so that's to come out in about a year.
They've said August next year, sorry.
Oh, is it? Okay.
August next year.
But so Across the Spider-Verse was actually like Across and Beyond were originally going to be one film. But presumably probably because there's too many important parts and to make the story better, split into two films. Even when that happened, it was called Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and Across the Spider-Verse Part 2. And I think maybe, yeah. And then it wasn't until like within a couple months or something, I think, that it was renamed.
It was just Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. And then it was renamed to the sequel was renamed to be Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, the story that was originally supposed to be one movie, it's following the kind of same story that Harry Potter did with Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. Like, okay.
No, mate, we got Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War, yes, that is true.
We got a climactic ending, fucker.
Although
we just know that there's going to be a fight.
Yeah, Infinity War and Endgame felt less of Part 1 and Part 2 and more of like a prequel sequel type of thing. It's the same story.
Not to me, it didn't. No.
Okay, well, to me it did. Let's agree to disagree. But anyway, like I was saying before, Harry Potter Part 1, Deathly Hallows Part 1, Part 2.
Because the book was like this thick.
You have one cohesive story. Voldemort has all but won, and it's the story of finding the Horcruxes and destroying them before he can achieve total victory. And there's too much stuff going on in order to properly tell. We have to split up into two films. How do we do that? Where's the cutoff points? I feel like they did the cutoff point really well. He finds the Elder Wand, like the one thing that Harry and all his friends did not want him to get.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the way they set up was good. I feel like the way that same energy is very prevalent, I believe, with the ending of Across the Spider-Verse. Because the whole story is Miles learning, okay, I already knew I'm not the only spider person in this universe, but there's other universes, each with their own Spider-Man,
Then to call him the anomaly.
Yeah. Which is it's I have a thing about that I want to say, but I'll get to that after this. But
Yeah. We've both got stuff to say. Let's both get it in.
but like the whole thing of the whole story is about him learning about this network of connected Spider-Man that protect the multiverse from collapsing in on itself. But in order to do so, I have to allow this person to die, even though I could very well save him, but I have to sit and watch because otherwise the multiverse will be destroyed. And Miles doesn't want that. And it's like him learning this is what is, but I don't want it to be this. I don't want to do. One of the famous lines from actually the trailer was how like everyone is telling him how his story is supposed to go, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna do what I want."
Yeah.
That was kind of the theme throughout the entire story. Gwen, Peter Parker, Miguel, everyone was like, "Yeah, this is what it is. This is what the universe has set for us. This is what we have no choice but to do." Miles is
The only thing is, Miles does have a point in just saying, why do we have to follow our lives being dictated in a universe? It's like how the TVA worked initially with the whole like TVA system.
Well, the TVA was like a conscious intelligence that set this rules forth. As far as we're aware, within Into the Spider-Verse, it's just the pure forces of the universe. It's more of like, okay, imagine this. I'm a guy who doesn't want to abide by the laws of gravity. Gravity is a force of nature. If gravity were an entity that has a consciousness, that very much changes the dynamic there. It's similar, but there's a very important distinction between like the TVA or across the Spider-Verse,
Mm.
Um,
I'm just making the point.
no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying there's like an important distinction that we have to keep in mind. But
You just like to take things apart and put them back together.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's a Wade trait.
I do want to say one thing about the canon anomaly, because it gets defined that an anomaly is when something from one universe goes into a different one. Something that was like never supposed to happen, and all of that. The radioactive spider from Universe 42, when Kingpin first activated the collider, got sent over to Miles' universe and bit Miles.
Mm.
And because of that, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, died and Miles became Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then Miles becoming Spider-Man.
Chris Pine fucking died. Sorry, I have to make that point.
No. Or there
Chris
being
Pine
a Spider-Man
died.
in the universe. That's the canon events, is like the Spider-Man doing all this stuff, all the things applying to him.
Mm-hmm. And literally says to him, "You're like me."
Yeah. And so like the way that, and I think I may have just realized something, but we'll get to that in a moment.
You're getting through a lot here, buddy.
We are. But like the thing that I'm kind of confused on a little bit is, okay, sweet. Miles is Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man, and he's in his own universe. However, near the end of the film, when Miles is in Nueva York.
42.
Yeah. He's in Nueva York. And basically there's that device that it scans a creature's DNA. And if they're from a different universe, that device will send them back to their original universe, which prevents them from creating any more anomalies. Miles uses it, is able to escape and get sent back to his own universe. However, the device, because he was bitten by Spider 42, sent him to Universe 42. However, in Universe 42 is not his universe, and he starts glitching out. The thing I'm kind of confused on is either A, that device does not accurately predict which universe you're from, because it detected Miles to be from Universe 42. However, according to the whole being in the right dimension, your atoms are jazzing out, you know? And Miles is not from 42.
Can I make a point?
Yes?
So the one thing they don't explain about the machine is how they get the sense of which Earth you're from.
That is true.
Because otherwise, if it was taken by blood, you would think Earth 42 because of the bite, and it would have infected.
Well, that's a question. Like, that's probably why it probably like detected. I don't know.
It would be a part of his blood, and they would think 42 from the spider bite 42.
One thing I'm kind of. I'm not sure. Because basically, like, we have one thing that claims Miles is from Universe 42, and then the other that claims he's from, I forgot what his original universe was numbered. So you have two different things claiming Miles from two different universes. And in a way, both are correct.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, and it's probably one where we're gonna have to watch the movie again. But
yeah, and one thing I realized,
yeah,
I think I may have figured out why Miles is canon, but not why he's an anomaly.
I think obviously the anomaly comes from Earth 42.
Well, the anomaly comes from Earth 42, but I think as far as like this whole universal algorithm they talk about goes,
It's because he wasn't meant to become Spider-Man. It was the Miles in Earth 42 that was meant to become Spider-Man. Because obviously they lost their captain. He lost his dad.
Yes.
And instead of becoming Spider-Man to basically redemption arc kind of thing, he became
the Prowler.
I forgot the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to the darker side instead. So that was basically the turnaround in that universe, because the spider went to Miles's and bit Miles. They lost their Spider-Man. They gained a new Spider-Man in that amount of time. Literally, Earth 42 has no Spider-Man.
No, that's correct. But like I can see why, and
because of what was meant to happen. Meant to happen.
Thinking about it now, I'm and to add on to your point, Miles Morales, as far as this whole algorithm is concerned, Miles Morales is from Earth 42 because the spider bite changed his DNA. It changed his very DNA, his blood, his everything to make him Spider-Man.
Yeah. So that makes him an anomaly because he's not technically from Earth 42.
Yes, technically. However, what it explains is every Spider-Man has these specific events happen to them. A police captain that is close to them dies. Not necessarily a father, but like a very important figure in their life is killed. And that basically is like their Uncle Ben moment. For Miles, it was Aaron. For Miles, it was Uncle Aaron. For Gwen, it was Peter. For Peter, it was Uncle Ben, you know?
Yeah.
What my theory is that this universal algorithm is like, okay, because technically there was a brief window where there were two Spider-Men. I'm still confused on whether or not the universe cares about that. I don't think so. Or maybe because there were two Spider-Man, the universe is like, okay, yeah, there can't be two Spider-Man in the universe. One of these has to go. And it killed off Peter Parker. But it was like, okay, sweet. Here's Spider-Man. The algorithm has not associated Miles Morales with Spider-Man. It has just said Spider-Man. This Spider-Man has not had his Uncle Ben moment, nor has the captain close to him died. Okay, sweet. Uncle Ben moment then happens. Uncle Aaron dies.
He doesn't want the captain moment to happen, so that's what he's trying to stop. We're very clear on that.
Yeah, and because, hey, there's a Spider-Man in this universe. Miles is a Spider-Man. Sweet, there's a Spider-Man. The universe is tricked into thinking the anomaly is canon when it's really not, which is why Miles' atoms don't jazz out when he's in his own universe. However, like physically, he's from Earth 42 because the device that detects his DNA detects it to be from Earth 42, which is where he gets sent. The algorithm is like, oh, this Spider-Man is in the wrong universe. You know? So it's a whole giant multiversal misunderstanding.
It's a bunch of fuck up.
Well, yeah.
To which I don't think Miguel is correct. I don't think Miguel is correct in how he's handled it.
I don't think so either. Well, there's one thing that happened is we
He's
have
going no. Wait. He's going
Yeah.
off of one experience for a start, which is his own. B, there's now a new perspective. Gwen's father is no longer captain, so he cannot die.
Exactly.
And plus, she already lost Peter, so it's just like that cannon's already fucked.
Mhm.
Who's to say the other cannons aren't already fucked? The cannons don't need to be the same. Miguel needs to realize the cannons don't need to be the same. If you want to be the good guys, be the good guys. Don't just expect your life cannons to each be the same and you go, oh, my.
Well, the thing I'm curious about is it wasn't because like it's not Miguel who's like whenever like a canon event is disrupted, as we saw, that entire universe decides to like basically collapse in on itself. Miguel isn't the one who causes that. As far as
No,
we're
it's not.
aware, it's the universe itself that does it to itself. But like I do agree, like Miguel was like okay, this thing happened because of this, therefore it can never happen again.
It doesn't go like this, though. There are many different ways of every single scenario going, and you can't just focus it based on one. There are always baseless accusations and based accusations. In his case, it is slightly based and baseless. Based as in his own experience. Baseless, it hasn't happened to anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing I'm like confused by, because if the algorithm is truly like a set algorithm, like this is the set path of how everything happens, then like how do you change what's effectively a force of nature? How do you change that?
Well, we're gonna find out in Beyond the Spider-Verse.
That's what I'm confused about, because like
it is possible. It is possible. I'm sure there's comics that have proven that it is possible.
Literally, you have to understand, Santa Claus himself has wielded the Infinity Gauntlet in the comics. It doesn't matter what it is, it's been in the comics before. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Anything can happen.
Exactly. But yeah.
I will say though, we got a good spotlight on Gwen this movie.
Yes.
Really good spotlight on
A
Gwen.
lot of spotlight on Gwen, which I love.
And then Peter Parker's there.
Just Mayday, like a little like because
No, over that. I know
there was
on,
14 months. There's 14 months between the end of Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. So, assuming that the baby was conceived right at the end of.
They would have gotten married. Let's be fair. They would have gotten back together. They would have gotten married.
Well, I know, like true.
Or were they on the cusp of a divorce? I keep on forgetting.
I think they did get a divorce because I remember there was that scene.
They would have gotten remarried then. They would have had little Mayday.
Well, because like I'm just doing the math. It's been 14 months in between the time. Assuming that the baby was conceived immediately at the start of that, 9 months later, the baby can be at most 5 months old.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah.
And she's
quite big,
already
and
a
plus
little
just like, don't tell mommy.
Don't tell mommy. Who?
She knows her destiny. She knows her destiny.
But yeah,
Yeah, Gwen for a second. There was a lot more backstory to her.
yeah,
I think a lot of her choices she's had no choice in,
exactly. Because like,
which is what she keeps on trying to tell Miles, but Miles is mad.
okay, here's a theory. I don't want to go back to Alex for some, but my brain won't let me. Well, it relates to Gwen and the whole captain thing.
Mm.
I still feel like Gwen and her father were very close-ish, but because like what you saw was when the weird paper Renaissance vulture came in, and then Miguel and Jessica Drew came in to
Miguel and
help
Jessica
Gwen
Drew.
stop him. Gwen was forced to reveal her identity to her father, and and as soon as he was like, "Yeah, I'm still gonna arrest my own daughter," that created a huge rift between them. Which
So she went to another universe and crashed
exactly,
with Toby.
exactly. Well, that makes me wonder something like that. I don't know enough of how the algorithm works to confirm or deny this. Something like that may be enough to make the captain no longer close to Spider-Man, which is why that her father was able to say like, "Yeah, I quit," because because
Arresting your
basically,
own daughter will put you over that line.
well, because like he now has a choice. Do I fulfill my duties as being captain, or do I stand up and believe in my daughter as Spider-Woman? Because like the in the moment that Gwen revealed her identity to her father, being captain and being close to Gwen became mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
And in order for the canon event to happen, they have to not be mutually exclusive.
Mm.
So if something like that happens, which oh no.
A thought has occurred in his brain.
Another thought has occurred. So
This
when
is
he was
what
in
Wade's brain does.
when he was in Earth 42, Miles, like when he was talking to Rio, he's like get that whole speech about how you have to promise me nothing's gonna change, And then he said, "I'm Spider-Man." She didn't know who
Who's
Spider-Man
Spider-Man?
was because there's no Spider-Man in that universe. If Miles had done that in his own universe, and that would have only pretty much solidified the canon event happening. Because had nothing changed, he still would have been close to the police captain. It would have had to have happened the same way Gwen's did.
Yeah, but I think because he's got a lot of friends that are going to back him up, and because of what he did for the other Spider-Man in the other universe, their police captain was meant to die that day. 4 of them were there. He did not die. The motherfucker did not die.
Yeah, and
Miguel got mad at that.
But yeah,
because it's just like things must take their course. No, lives can be lived. People can be saved. People should be saved.
exactly.
And that's why Gwen said, I thought we were the good guys. Because that doesn't sound like a good guy thing if you're focusing solely on you and letting other people die.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved like the stronger focus on Gwen. This thing. they're actually making a like spin-off movie with Gwen as like the main character,
Mm-hmm.
which I am so
They
hyped
should.
for. Yeah.
But yeah, I think in Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to do a lot of explaining, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's definitely rewatchable. The animation stunning.
It's weird. When the first time I watched Into the Spider-Verse, I it took me I had to watch it a second time because the animation was like so jarring for whatever reason. But when I watched this one, it was fine.
I think it's because you'd already watched it prior, but at the same time,
Yeah,
because of its comic book layout, it is paying homage to all the comic book art.
exactly.
So that is why it's kind of like jarring at first, because it has all the different series and all the different artworks by all the different artists that did each comic, and that's why each comic pops up and they give their explanations for each character. And plus all the other Spider I'm sorry, I have a place in my heart for hubby. For Spider-Punk. Just because he's just exactly the thing of just like, oh yeah, defy the system. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a part of the system.
Crap.
And then he just goes, yeah, this wasn't what I signed up for. Bye, fuckers.
I quit.
Just leaves.
Just bullshit.
Without anybody noticing.
Yeah.
He just fucking leaves.
Yeah.
And plus, the spotlight on the spot, I think, was a good amount as well.
I had
'Cause
never heard of Spot before this movie.
so basically who he is, he's one of the scientists when
They blew
like
up the collider.
when they blew up the collider, and he basically melded with the collider and became the Spot.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to use his powers. And then he decided to go stir crazy, which is leading to this whole movie.
Yeah.
And a second part being developed with it because it's universal.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
I love how he pops into a Lego universe.
I love the Lego universe so much.
This is true. They have a Lego Spider-Man with with like a little Lego armband.
I can always rely on you, Peter. Thanks, Miguel.
And
Like,
then
Peter goes into the toilet. Spider-Man outfit.
I was like so like they missed an opportunity to have Lego spots. That would fit so much. Just a little
It's
Lego.
because of the universe he's from. He's in that animation style. That's
No,
the reason.
I know, I get that, but like it still would have been so funny if they had Lego spot there.
But he's probably not in any other universe. That's probably a good reason why as well. Let's talk about. I'm just gonna get this out there. They went into Venom's shop.
What? Oh,
You know when he
did.
was popping
He
his head
did.
through?
He
The
did.
shop lady, which is
She
just
wasn't even
like,
like
you haven't seen anything weird before. I know. I'm sorry. Oh, I have.
I've literally been possessed by a sentient alien ooze.
Yeah,
This is what you're doing is nothing new.
and it's a real person with. It's Roger Rabbit style. It's full
Yeah.
on. It's full on. Who killed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
And then Donald Glover
Yes.
in the suit.
Donald Glover in the suit, which confirms he is the Prowler in that universe. They had when Miguel was doing the whole exposition, they had the scene of Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, they did. They had the Andrew Garfield scene. They had Tobey Maguire's scene. I don't think they had our Parker's scene.
When did they have the Tobey Maguire thing?
So Tobey Maguire's face appeared at the side as well.
I must have missed that part because I only remember
Basically, there's 3 screens with Miguel in the center. Andrew Garfield is on like his right, And then on his left, they've got a cartoon one, and then they've got Tobey Maguire.
Okay, I must have missed that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Toby was there. Toby was there.
Nice.
Just Tom Holland's Spidey was not seen.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling because his we never really it's never was never really explained in the MCU what happened to Uncle Ben.
I don't even think he had an Uncle Ben.
I don't know.
Toby was his Toby. Tony was his Uncle Ben.
Yeah. Well,
Tony was his Uncle Ben, and then it was May.
I feel like his moment, Uncle Ben moment would have been with Aunt May, with the way it was set up. But with that movie being about the multiverse and breaking away from being a Spider-Man and being Spider-Man, not being a Spider-Man, just being the Spider-Man who does his own thing.
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't keep a track of him, I don't think.
It makes sense that it wouldn't really be like included in the whole canon anomaly explanation.
Yeah. Because it's a different kind of anomaly. But yeah, is there anything else we want to mention while we're here?
Fantastic movie. Go see it, and then go see it again.
Too true, too true. Yeah, I think, like I said, Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse will be next August, is what I've been told by a couple of people who were in the screening with me. But yeah, everybody's just like, I have to see it again. And also, the reaction was, oh, fuck off. Just because we didn't want it to end that way. Like, you know, when you're in the screening and you're just like, you're really invested and you're just like, oh, come on.
It's because it's such a good story. We want more of it.
Exactly, which means we're invested, you fuckers. Why did you have to Infinity War us like that?
I love how like Gwen at the end of it gets like
she gets the full on exposition.
She gets Penny, she gets Spider-Man, she gets Noir, she gets Peter B. Parker. I'm surprised Jessica Drew joined that because she seemed pretty on Miguel's side for most of the film.
I think it's because she watched Gwen's interaction with Miles's parents. So I think that twinged something in her. And obviously, she's pregnant.
She's pregnant. And also another thing, like Miguel, like when Miguel sent Gwen back to her own universe, he pretty much went full on supervillain there for a brief moment.
He's like lost it, I think. Miguel has.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he's doing what's best. He's in that kind of superhero complex where he thinks he's doing what's best, but it's really not.
Well, here's the question, and I don't know whether I do or don't want this to happen in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Like, let's assume that, like, oh, everyone finds a way to be able to break these canon events without the universe collapsing in on itself, and it becomes public knowledge. Okay, sweet. Miguel's like, yeah, okay, this can happen. I'm on board now. Let's do this and have everyone be happy and be saved. You know? Would Miguel do that? I would not be able to play that out in a way where it doesn't sound like a stereotypical happily ever after thing.
It's not going to be happily ever after. A lot of theories say that it's not going to be the dad that dies. It's going to be the mum.
I don't know.
Because I think with closeness, like, yeah, he's close with his dad, but
he's a lot closer with his mom.
He's a lot closer with his mom.
Well, it's the police captain who dies. It's specifically the police captain who dies.
Yeah, but at the same time, reversing the algorithm and killing the mum would absolutely flip the script.
And it would flip the script because then again, it's always shown that it's possible to break the canon.
Because you break the system, as you fucking should.
Exactly.
It's also, there's always going to be repercussions to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
just we don't know what those repercussions are for the Spider-Verse, because obviously we've had it explained to us, but we haven't seen it happen, because once you get it explained, it happens.
Yeah.
But I think Miles is completely in the right. Miguel is completely in the wrong. Just from his own experiences. He keeps on thinking, oh yeah, it's going to happen. We must protect. No, that's not protecting.
To be honest, I'm in the, like, well, here's the thing. Miles wants to save everybody, which I agree with. But
Yeah.
Miles, at least the vibe I got was like, yeah, I'm gonna save my dad and then find a way to I'm gonna save my dad and then I'm gonna find a way to save everyone else when the universe breaks apart. That's what I felt about. It feels like a lose-lose scenario. Because like you either let someone die, which betrays the whole point of being Spider-Man, or you save that one person, but you're also knowingly dooming the entire universe, including the person you saved. So it's like, what do I do? No matter what I do, I lose.
But also, he doesn't know whether the universe is going to do that.
I feel like because like Miles was there when like it was explained what was happening. I feel like Miles is like, yeah, I'm gonna save because like my dad's gonna die in like a day. That's the immediate threat, and he's like, okay, sweet, I'll figure out everything else after. I feel like that's what Miles' mindset is right now. Although, granted, his current mindset is, okay, how I have no way of traveling outside of this universe that is the wrong one, and I have a day to figure it out and save my dad. How do I do that?
Pretty much. Like, honestly, there's a lot of mess here.
Oh, I just had a terrible thought. Sorry, you go ahead, but I just had a terrible thought.
Yeah, there's a lot of mess here in the sense of universes breaking apart, falling apart, who's right, who's wrong, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, it's just like Miles's headspace mentally is, I'm not losing a fucking family member.
I'm not losing
What is the first thing you're going to do?
Yeah. One thing I will say, and it would I have absolutely no idea how this would play out if this were the case. And I really don't want this to happen because there's no happy ending to this. It said that like I can't remember if it was just how Miles's captain death was supposed to happen, or if it's how every Spider-Man captain death is supposed to happen. The captain dies saving a little kid. What if that little kid was Mayday?
Don't do that to Mayday.
I know. I don't want to do that to Mayday.
No, don't do that to Mayday.
Don't do that to
think
Peter.
It's Mayday.
Don't do that to Peter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's Mayday because the visions. It can't be Mayday. It showed a different little girl.
Actually, wait. What happened in the visions? Remind me, because
So the visions are basically showing the events that are going to happen, which is basically the Spot trying to take over the world and stuff and take things away, and he keeps on saying, I'm going to take away everybody you love. Like Spot's filling the place, like, and then you see the little girl, you see the captain, you see him going for her.
Right. I just remembered it.
You have visuals, and it's not Mayday.
Right. I just remembered it. I remember, it was a thought I had during the theater. I was in the theater. Because when Miles did that weird connection or whatever he did with Spot, he saw the brief glimpse of his dad found the thing, and then we figured out it's happened today. He was able to deduce, and everything we've seen so far means he's correct, Spot is going to be the one. Either he directly delivers the killing blow or causes the events that happen that kill Jefferson.
That's what it's initializing.
Exactly. Here's the thing, though. Spot is the anomaly. Like Spot is the anomaly.
100% is.
So basically, what's happening is this canon event is caused by an anomaly. So let's remove the anomaly, remove Spots. There is nothing to trigger the canon event.
Yeah. So it shouldn't happen.
Exactly. Which, based on what we know, that it's possible for if certain major things are happening, if certain things happen, it's possible to rewrite like the canon event. A major thing like Spot taking over that entire scenario and being the thing that's supposed to kill Jefferson Davis. If that anomaly is removed, because of all the changes Spot has made, there's nothing left to fill in the void. Therefore, he could live, I feel like. I feel like the only way for it to... I don't see a scenario where it happens where Spot doesn't either... Oh, no. This is terrible. Another terrible thought. Where either Spot is straight up killed, or... And I feel like the only way to do this, or at least the way that would be a helpful way to do this, is Spot is somehow like drained of all his powers and returned back to a normal human.
I think that would be.
So basically, it's like, because what happened, we saw his power comes from the energy of the collider. So if they were able to either A, do what they did in Into the Spider-Verse, where they basically shut off and blew up the collider.
I would say build a collider that does the reverse, the opposite.
Do that, or do that to Spot. I don't know like what would happen though, like because Spot being a multiversal entity, it would basically destroy the multiverse. Would that basically like, yeah, everyone goes back to their own universes and you can no longer travel between them? Is that what happens now? Which would be heartbreaking because Miles and Gwen are so cute together.
Like, he wants to ask her out, for fuck's sake.
Well, and I feel like Gwen likes Miles too.
I think she does.
But because of her, at least at the time, she was still of the mindset of Miguel's doing the right thing. And she's like, yeah, in every universe, Gwen Stacy falls for Spider-Man, and it never ends well.
Yeah.
Which is why she didn't go for it, because she knows, yeah, it hurts, but it has to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end...
Because in some scenarios, what happened to her, and also Clock Tower.
Yeah. And then in the... like, at the end of the film, she's changed her mind, and she's like, yeah, my dad is alive somehow and isn't about to die. And also, I saw...
Because basically, her leaving changed the canon, technically, because she didn't go back.
Yeah.
It changed the canon completely.
Mm-hmm.
When you change the canon event doesn't exist.
When canon events interact with each other, it changes the canon. For example, the canon event, which is the Spider-Man, which is Spider-Woman, who's like doing these things happen. You mentioned earlier the conversation between Gwen and Rio and Jeff.
Yeah.
I feel like that conversation, like whatever ends up happening that potentially changes the canon event of Jeff's death, that conversation I feel will be very instrumental in that thing happening.
Yeah.
I need to go watch this movie again. It's so good.
Watch the movie again and take notes.
Yeah. Stanif has already seen it 3 times, I'll note.
It'll be the 3rd time.
But yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think of the movie? Do you have the same or similar theories? Let us know in the comments. Especially when this one goes off on theories.
And if any of the cast members want to be on the podcast, hit us up.
Because that's going to happen.
Hey, you never know.
Yes, a girl can dream. But my dreams don't come true.
Not with that mindset.
They don't though.
Hey. Canon events can be rewritten. Can they not?
You. Do I smash this mug as soon as I've made it? Anyway.
Okay.
If you want to see more episodes, if you want to see more Blue Mind reviews, if you want to see more podcast episodes of Wade playing.
Perfect.
Yeah. Wait, of Lou playing Uncharted, of me playing Dreamlight Valley, of us doing random shit, then please subscribe to this channel because it is the perfect place for chaos for you.
Yeah.
I think that sums us up pretty well.
Pretty much, yeah.
Leave a like on the video and share it, obviously, because we want more people to see and we want more people to discuss it with because we're mostly in our homes separately. Not being able to discuss it with anyone. Please help.
Bye.
Bye. That's the winner, isn't it? Bye.